Well, good day, folks, and welcome to another edition of Lumberjack Logic. I'm your host, Neil Johnson, excited to be with you and bring you, woohoo! This report's my favorite report of the day because the other ones haven't all been so positive because I'm uncovering a lot of nonsense out there, but this is awesome, okay? Hey, Freedom Hill Coffee, freedomhillcoffee.com, or there's an affiliate link below. Promo code Lumberjack will save you 10%, okay? Stuff is awesome. You can also go to mypillow.com and use promo code Lumberjack to save up to 66%. Phenomenal products. Anyways, let's run into it here. All right. Jen Psaki says record inflation is being weaponized as a political cudgel against Biden, claims massive spending bills will lower inflation. But watch this. I'm pulling from 3 different sources here. Stick with me through this one because this is awesome. It shows you the disarray, dysfunction, and the trouble that's brewing right now. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki attempted to defend the Biden administration against rising concerns about record inflation. This is out of the Blaze. Psaki also asserted that President Joe Biden's Build Back Better agenda would help alleviate inflation, not exacerbate it. That's right, folks. If you print more money now, that's going to solve the inflation problem. What kind of economics class did she? Oh, that's right. It's called the Marxist class. All right. During Friday's White House press briefing, Psaki was asked about inflation and how it adversely affects Americans. Psaki dismissed a lot of talk about inflation and claimed it is being weaponized as a political cudgel, and it shouldn't be. She did admit it's impacting, you said, millions of Americans, no matter their political party, and that's certainly of concern for the president. Ain't concerning jack for the president. He's more concerned about China and solving. China's kind of upset with Joe right now. I wonder if they feel like they pay too much for Hunter's art. The White House press secretary then touted the $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill and Biden's sweeping $1.75 trillion social policy and climate change Build Back Better bill as a remedy for the current inflation fiasco. Bipartisan infrastructure bill, get all those Republicans out of there. I'm serious. If you're in a state with a Republican who voted for this piece of, then, anyways, will not, that we're working to move forward, will not add to inflationary pressure and will ease inflationary pressure over the long term. Here's the thing. Americans aren't buying it. A recent ABC News Ipsos poll found that more Americans believe the vast government spending will hurt them than those who believe it would help them. No way. Some Americans aren't so dumb after all. Now, it gets worse. New poll shows dire outlook for Democrats. Best midterm projection for Republicans in 40 years. That's right, 40 years. I've never seen it this good, okay? Right now, the poll discovered that among registered voters in the U.S., the current preference is Republicans over Democrats by a whopping 10%. And if you don't believe polls because you always think they're skewed to the left, what's the real number? If that's your belief structure. ABC News explains the significance of this finding. That's the biggest lead for Republicans in the 110 ABC Post polls that have asked this question since November of 1981. Folks, we're talking the Reagan Revolution. Yeah, we gonna paint this country red like Reagan, gonna shoot our guns, gonna eat our bacon. By the way, that's by Buddy Brown. You can find him on YouTube. He does a great song. Anyways, indeed, it's only the second time the GOP has held a statistically significant advantage. The other was 7+ points in January of 2002, and the 9th time it's held any numerical edge at all. While the discovery comes about 1 year before Election Day 2022, the current state of the Democratic Party and voter sentiment toward Democrats suggests Democrats have an uphill battle if they should maintain their majorities. Okay? Again, folks, massive margins. I know, I'm well aware of all these things, all right? We need to stack up massive margins, and we can do it. Okay, and then we can fix things, all right? Psaki does damage control for Kamala Harris's reputation as poll numbers plummet. I don't know if you caught this, but she was tweeting out yesterday, for anyone who needs to hear it, @VP is not only a vital partner to @POTUS, but a bold leader who has taken on key important challenges facing the country, from voting rights to addressing root causes of migration to expanding broadband. Root causes of migration. You mean the immigration crisis? That's right. She was put in charge of that, wasn't she? She's doing such a great job. I love her. SDS, Simone Sanders, who's a senior advisor and chief spokesperson for Harris, wrote, "It is unfortunate that after a productive trip. Actually, not reproductive, because, you know, I mean, anyways. It is fortunate that after a productive trip to France, in which we reaffirmed our relationship with America's oldest ally and demonstrated U.S. leadership on the world stage, and following passage of a historic bipartisan infrastructure bill that will create jobs, they're still selling that crap, and strengthen our communities, some in the media are focused on gossip, not on the results that the president and the vice president have delivered. Okay, this all came because CNN, apparently desperate for ratings, finally decided to cover something, okay, which was that it's falling apart. Edward Isaac Dovere and Jasmine Wright published an article titled Exasperation and Dysfunction Inside Kamala Harris's Frustrating Start as a Vice President. The article, because the only person worse than Joe in approval ratings is Kamala, and Nancy's right there too. Anyways, exasperation and dysfunction, okay. The article highlights repeated conflicts between Harris, her staff, and the White House. Now watch this. But with many sources speaking on condition of anonymity to discuss the situation more frankly, they all tell roughly the same story. Harris's staff has repeatedly failed her and left her exposed, and family members have often had an informal say within her office. Even some who have been asked for advice lament Harris's overly cautious tendencies and staff problems, which have been a feature of every office she's held, from San Francisco District Attorney to U.S. Senate, the reporters wrote. That's because no one likes her. So she has all these problems because she is completely unbearable as a person. Harris was recently panned for her overseas trip to France after visiting a COVID-19 lab in Paris where she apparently used a French accent. Like, did you? That's like when she went to Virginia, y'all. I mean, she just always just trying to identify with folks, you know. Now she's trying French. I don't even know if I can do a French. Vive la France. Ah, yes, so good. It is so good to see you here. Oh, you wonderful Frenchmen who make tanks that drive in rivers. Ah, yes, you are so wonderful. Who knows? The French might be coming alive again, you know. They were our ally in the war against Great Britain. So, you know, there's that. A recent poll showed Harris's approval rating below Biden's with a 28% approval rating among Americans. And out of the New York Post, Kamala Harris sidelined amid growing tensions with Biden, insiders say. Vice President Kamala Harris feels increasingly isolated inside the White House as her approval ratings plummet, with the first female Veep believing she's not getting the same support given to other members of the Biden administration, according to a detailed new report. This woman's so bad that Biden doesn't even like her. Maybe she needs to start selling art to China. It's hard to miss the specific energy that the White House brings to defend a white man, knowing that Kamala Harris has spent almost a year taking a lot of hits that the West Wing didn't want to take themselves, a former Harris aide told CNN, which based its report on interviews with nearly 36 insiders. The ex-staffer was referring to the Biden administration springing to defend Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, that guy, for taking paternity leave. Okay. There's so I can't. I go too far. There's so many ways to go with that, folks. Okay, Buttigieg is considered a potential challenger to Harris for the Democratic presidential nomination, either in 2024 or 2028. Hey, folks, ain't gonna happen, because if there's anybody who would actually come out with lower poll numbers than Harris, it would be Buttigieg, who needs to take paternity leave for forever. By polling data, the majority of Americans say get back to work, Pete. Anyways, but it doesn't matter. We're probably better off without him working because he is that bad. Hey, folks, I was excited to bring you this report, you know, pulled from a lot of different sources, but there's problems in the White House. They don't want to admit it. It's like a fiasco. It's a scheiß show. I'll use some German there. Sprechen Sie Deutsch, yeah. Hey, go to mypillow.com, enter promo code Lumberjack, save up to 66%. Get some great presents for the Christmas, and get some of the best merch for Christmas. Look at this, Lumberjack Logic. I got 3 new hats going up too. I got the mugs, everything. Folks, go over there and check it out. LumberjackLogicShow.com. Or if you want to get some art, NeilJohnsonPhotos.com. Promo code Lumberjack will save you money there too. 10% on one item, 15% on two. Thanks. You're the best audience. And hey, just Make sure to subscribe subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I love you folks. Peace out.